What's up, guys? We're going to do a clarinet assembly. I'm going to show you how to, first of all, open the case correctly. Most of the times when I do this with my students, we open it from the floor first so the pieces don't all fall out in case you open it the wrong way. But we want to make sure the case is flat, obviously, and you want to look for the label. Usually it's at the top, so if the label is up here, that means it's the right side up. Also, we want to look for the latches. They usually latch up. That probably means that it's going to open the correct way, and we want to make sure we open it facing you or facing me right now. As I open it, all the pieces should be in there like so. And let's go from the bottom. Okay, so we're going to take the bell, and then there are two big body pieces. This is you have the upper joint and the lower joint. So the lower joint is the bigger piece. So we're going to take the lower joint and we're going to connect it with the bell. And before I actually start connecting these pieces, if your clarinet is brand new, and if you look at your clarinet, you'll see that there are different places that have cork on them. So it's really, really important that you get one of these. It looks like chapstick, but it's not chapstick, so don't put it on your lips. Cork grease. This is what you put on the cork to keep it nice and soft. So if you do have a brand new clarinet, you're going to want to put some of this stuff on the cork. I'm actually going to do that now, show you. Okay, so the cork grease kind of looks like chapstick. You're just going to run it around the cork. You can use your finger to kind of make sure you spread it evenly. Okay, and you don't want any of that white stuff remaining on the cork because it's not really good for it either. You don't want to overdo it, just enough that the cork is soft. And you want to do this maybe once a week, especially if it's new, because what happens when you put the pieces together and it's not soft and moist, the cork could rip, and if the cork rips, the joints won't attach themselves together. Then you're gonna have to replace the cork, and cork replacement is usually pretty expensive, so you want to avoid ripping the cork. So we want to make sure that we grease up all the different cork pieces. I think there's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's one on the lower joint, there's two on the upper joint, which is the smaller piece, and one on the mouthpiece. Okay, so back to assembly. We take the bell, we take the lower joint, okay, and the lower joint to the bell. The bell attaches itself to where the cork is at the very bottom. See, that's where the bottom is, where the cork piece is. And key word here is twist and turn. We never want to shove or jam the joints together. Just gently twist and turn, and it should go right in pretty easily. If it's really hard and you're feeling a lot of resistance, that probably means you don't have enough cork grease on it. So go ahead, put more cork grease on. So that's done. Now we're going to pick up the upper joint. And this part is actually kind of the hardest part to put together. You want to make sure that you don't damage this bridge key. The bridge key is this little piece that's moving as I'm hitting this little key. We want to make sure that when I put them together, you don't clank the keys. So again, you're going to twist and turn, and I'm actually going to hold this down so the bridge key remains up. As I push it in, again, twist and turn, and the bridge key, which is the part that's moving right here, should align itself to this part right here. And you'll know you did it right if, first of all the keys, the circular keys, line up in a straight line between the upper joint and the lower joint. And if you push any of these, you'll see that the bridge key comes up together. So that's the upper joint, lower joint, and bell. And now we have the barrel. This is the barrel. The lower, the fatter part here will go on the cork of the upper joint. Again, we twist and turn. And when we hold on to the clarinet, once we're already here, we want to make sure we don't touch or grab the keys and put a lot of pressure on them. We don't want to bend the keys. So I'm going to try to hold it down here where there aren't a lot of keys. Again, twist and turn, should go on there. That's the barrel. And here is the mouthpiece. Okay, again, there's your cork, and the cork goes in here. Barrel, twist and turn, twist and turn. Okay, and you have yourself a clarinet. Okay, and the mouthpiece should look like this, where the flat part should line up with the thumb key, which is at the back of the clarinet. This is the thumb key. This is the front part of the clarinet. And this is the ligature. And some of our ligatures might look a little different. Most of the student model clarinets would be silver, so it would be slightly different. So the ligature would go on like so. And I'm not going to go too much into detail here because I don't have the student model ligature, so I don't want to create any confusion. So I'll make another video on how to properly set up your reed onto your mouthpiece with your ligature, but at least we have the assembly of the clarinet down. And usually once we start playing, this is all that time that took to assemble the clarinet, all that time you would be soaking your reed in your mouth as you set it up, so the reed is nice and wet for you to use by the time your instrument is set up. So disassembly, same thing. If I had a reed on here, you would take the reed off, put it in its reed guard or case, you take the ligature off, take the mouthpiece off. Okay, then the barrel. And then here we take the upper joint off. Again, be careful that you twist and turn here. You don't twist it all the way around, otherwise you're gonna clank the keys and we don't want that. So again, twist left, right, and then off. Okay, and then you have the lower joint. I'm gonna grab down here so I'm not touching the keys. Again, twist and turn gently and it should come right off. So just make sure that the cork grease or cork is nice and greased up. I'm going to show you all of these pieces do go in a certain way. Okay, so if you take a look here, want to make sure that the clarinet pieces go exactly the way that it came in when you got it at the store or wherever you got it. Okay, see, the lower joint doesn't go this way because, well, it doesn't fit. All of the cases have been sort of cut or pre-cut, so the clarinet pieces only go one way. So we want to make sure that you put it back exactly the same way so you don't damage it when you close the case. Okay, and that's it. That is the assembly and disassembly of a clarinet. I want to make sure you latch that, and that's it.